Hello, class. This is Algebra 1, Chapter 2.1. Today we are talking about the order of operations. Today is a very, very important day because this is going to basically be the foundation for all of your algebra and calculus and geometry and just mathematical knowledge from now until you pass away. The order of operations is perhaps single-handedly the most important procedure or methodology in math. That's a big statement, but I think after today you're going to understand why I say it. All right, so let's get right into it and stop messing around. So basically what happens is you're going to get problems, or you're going to come across problems that have several operations, right? And as you know, the operations are four. You have addition, everybody's favorite. Very simple, very clean, very easy. You have subtraction. You have multiplication. And then you have division. Okay? Now let's say you had a problem. Something like, I don't know, let's make something simple. Something like 3 plus 3 minus 4 times 5. I should have made all of those the same color, so I'm going to do that now. Okay? And you're trying to find out what this problem equals. Well, what used to happen is that people would kind of just start wherever they wanted to, right? And they would say something like, oh, I can start all the way over here at the left and just work my way over to the right. That's what some people said. And what happened was you get 3 plus 3, that'd be 6, and then you just keep going. Minus 4 times 5, 6 minus 4 is 2, and then you'd have 2 times 5, and then you get 10, right? So this answer would have been 10 if you get to choose whichever way you go. But then again, let's remember that 10, right? But then again, somebody else could have said, I don't like going with addition first. In fact, I like working backwards. I like working backwards because I like working with multiplication first. So I'm going to do that. So they said, all right, what is 4 times 5? Well, that's 20. And then they had a negative, and then they said, what is 3 minus 20? And then they said, oh, that's negative 17. And then they said, oh, just add the last 3 here. 3 plus negative 17. Well, that's going to give you negative 14. And as you can tell, negative 14 and 10 are not the same, right? And then yet another person could say, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to start in the middle because life is free and full and I can do whatever I want. 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and then I could do 3 plus negative 1, right? And that would give me 3 minus 1, which is 2. And then I could do 2 times 5, which is 10. That one kind of returns you back to the original problem that we had, right? 10. But as you can tell, there's too many different versions or options here, right? So basically what mathematicians and scientists said is we need a consistent way of doing these operations if we ever come across them in multiple situations like this. So basically what they said is we're going to create something that is standard for everybody across the world and throughout the universe, a way of doing these multiple operations, and we're going to call it the order of operations. And here is the order, okay? If you have, let's say this problem was rewritten, right? Let's say you had parentheses, okay? The order of operations would be, you do your parentheses first, and you find out whatever that answer is. Then you do your next one, which is your exponents, right? Your exponents look like this. Let me show you what exponents look like. So like 2 squared, or 3 to the 3rd power, or 4 to the 4th power. Those are your exponents. So first you do your parentheses, then your exponents, then you do your multiplication or your division. Okay? You either do multiplication first or you do division, depending on which one comes first from left to right. and then you do division, or sorry, not division, addition or subtraction. You've heard this perhaps called PEMDAS. Okay? Parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever comes first, addition or subtraction, whichever comes first. The acronym for that is PEMDAS or PEMDAS. The other way to remember that is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Or I can show you some of the options online. So if you take a look here, you will see an anchor chart of what that looks like. You do your parentheses first, then your exponents, your multiplication or division, your addition, and then your subtraction. And again, multiplication, division, and addition and subtraction, it's whichever ones come first. And I'll tell you, and I'll show you what that means in a second. Here's a cleaner version of that. Parentheses first, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And I just did Google searches for these. And then let me show you the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, so that you always remember the order, right? PEMDAS, PEMDAS. All right, so let's show how to use PEMDAS, okay? I'm going to say a problem, and then I will show you why it's useful. So let's start with a simple problem here. Okay, so let's say we just had something like this. You have 16 minus 6 times, that's what the little dot means, 2. What does that equal, right? Well, my first step is to rewrite my PEMDAS. P-E-M-D-A. Actually, I'm not going to write it that way. I'm going to write it, yes, actually I will for today. PEMDAS. And then I'm going to put these in a bracket to remind me whichever one comes first. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. I like to put little symbols around them just to remind me what each one does. Division, addition, subtraction. So now I'm literally just going to go from the left to the right and see if I have these things, okay? So I look first. Do you see any parentheses? Is anything in a parentheses? Nothing is in parentheses, therefore I ignore it. I move on. Do I have any exponents? I don't have any powers, I have no exponents, I move on. Do I have either multiplication or division? Well, if I start from the left, from 16 and go right, I don't have any division, but I do have multiplication. And I've got a 6 times 2. Now, technically, it's a negative 6 times 2, right? So I can say it's 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, right? So that takes care of my multiplication, so I can strike that out. And then I say I didn't have division, so I can ignore that. Do I have addition or subtraction? Well, technically I do. I have a 16 here, right? And what's going on? It is subtracting 12. So 16 minus 12 is 4. And then I realize that there is no other things I can do, and that is my answer. The answer to 16 minus 6 times 2 is 4, okay? Parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication, then division, then addition, then subtraction, okay? So let's try another problem. Let's say I had 2 plus 12 divided by, there's something, 4 minus 10. Okay? And they asked me to solve this or to simplify. Well, first things first, I recognize I have multiple operations here. I've got addition, I've got division, I've got subtraction. So I'm going to write out my PEMDAS. Parentheses, exponents. I'm going to try to keep it color-coded, but it will take a little longer, so please bear with me. Multiplication or division, whichever comes first, and then addition or subtraction. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, okay? All right, so let's label some stuff. I have my multiplication and division in blue, so I'm going to change the symbol to blue. Do I have addition and subtraction in red? Okay, here we go. All right, I say to myself, do I have first any parentheses? I see none, I can skip it. Do I have any exponents, any powers? I see none, I can skip it. Do I have either multiplication or division? Well, I don't see any multiplication, but I do see division. So I can get rid of my multiplication, and then I can work on my division. And here are my two numbers being divided, the 12, the positive, well, let's just go positive 12. I take the sign with it, and the positive 4, right? Conversely, you could also just do the 12 divided by the 4. If that's more comfortable for you, feel free to do that. So dividing, 12 divided by 4 is, how many times can we fit 4 into 12? It's 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my whole answer, my whole problems, just to keep it clean. Okay, so now I've taken care of my division. My next step is, do I have either addition or subtraction? Well, I have both. So how do I know which one to do first? Well, remember, it's you start from the left and then you move right, okay? So whichever one comes first when you're moving from left to right. And what comes first? Well, it's the addition. So it's 2 plus 3, and 2 plus 3 is 5. And then I'm just going to rewrite the problem just to keep it clean. So I've taken care of addition, and now I can take care of my subtraction. And what I have is 5 minus 10, and 5 minus 10 is -5. So my answer to this problem is -5. And all I did was I used the order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Okay, now let's do a problem that has parentheses and exponents, so we can see a full big one, okay? All right, let's see. We're going to do one. Here we go. My problem is 4 cubed divided by 8, parentheses, 12 minus 11. All right. So I recognize that I have more than one operation going on, so immediately I need to use my PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt and Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. All right, let's start at the beginning. Do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. My parentheses are right here. I first have to understand that anytime I have a number like 8 next to a parentheses like that, hugging it, what's really going on is its multiplication. So it looks like this. If I wrote it out correctly, it would be 4 divided by 3, 4 to the third power divided by, in brackets, 8 multiplied by whatever is inside this parentheses. And you'll notice that there is, in fact, subtraction in there, but because it's in the parentheses is more powerful. It takes precedent. It goes first. All right? So first we do our parentheses, everything inside the parentheses. So I only have subtraction. 12 minus 11 is 1, right? So inside the parentheses is 1. And it's going to be what? Multiplied by 8. But we are going to take this one step at a time. All right, so I've gotten rid of my parentheses, right? Now I look and I say, all right, do I have any exponents? Well, yes, I do. I have the 4 cubed, right? The 4 cubed is my exponents. And if I were to rewrite the exponent correctly, I would use brackets. And I would say 4 cubed is actually 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4. And then I would solve that. I'm just rewriting everything to make it consistent and clean and easy to deal with. All right, so 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is what? 64. 16 twice is 32. 32 twice is 64. So I have 64 in my brackets here. I can now get rid of the brackets because I already have the answer I needed. So I'm going to rewrite everything. It's going to be 64 divided by brackets 8 times 1. And I don't really need the brackets for this. I could have just written it 8 times 1. Okay, I put the brackets in there just so you understood that those two things are going to be multiplied together first. All right, so now I've taken care of my exponents. Now I say, do I have any multiplication or division? Well, technically I do. I have both division and multiplication. Now here, because the 8 is hugging the 1, you're going to want to do that first. It's going to take power and precedent. So you do 8 times 1, which is 8. And then you're going to have your division. And then you're going to have 64. And so now I've taken care of my multiplication. And now I must take care of my division. 64 divided by 8 is 8. And I'm running out of space. And I have no addition left or subtraction. Therefore, your answer is 8. That's it. Now, I'm going to do one without brackets. And let's see how it goes. Let's do, here's a good one. 4 plus 16 divided by 5 times 2. All right, I recognize that there are multiple operations and there is a parenthesis, so I'm clearly going to have to use PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever comes first, and then addition or subtraction. All right, now let's just cross them off right away. Let's kill parentheses. I look at my parentheses and I say, all right, what's inside the parentheses? A 4 and a 16 being added to themselves. 4 plus 16 is 20. So now I can drop the parentheses because now the operations inside it are done. Now I have 20 divided by whatever 5 times 2 is. Do I have any exponents? No, so I can cross that out. Do I have multiplication or division? Yes. Now, nothing is hugging anything, right? There's no hugging of the parentheses. Therefore, all I need to do is start at the, and by hugging, I mean something like this, right? Like 3 times 5, where it's right next to it. We don't have that here. Everything is separate by an operation symbol. So now I can go from the left to the right, and I say, okay, 20 divided by 5 first. We're going to take care of that. That's division. Remember, multiplication or division, whichever comes first from left to right. And here, division is first. 20 divided by 5 is 4. Then I drop this 2 and its multiplication sign. All right, I've taken care of division. Now multiplication. That's the only thing that's left. 4 times 2 is 8. The answer here is 8. And that's it. I'm going to do one more problem without all the different lines and funniness. And it's not even going to be color-coded, okay? We're just going to do it straight. So let's take a look at, I'm sorry this was a little bit longer video, but it's going to be worth it. Here we go. 24 minus 25 divided by 5 squared. Okay, so how do I solve this? Well, it's simple. All I have to do is realize that there are multiple operations going on and exponents. So now I can use my PEMDAS. Oh, sorry. Multiplication, then division, addition or subtraction. Okay, so let's start at the top. Do I have parentheses? No. So that can go away. Do I have exponents? Yes, I do. So let's solve the exponent. I've got 5 squared. 5 squared is 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So that takes care of my exponent. So now I've got 24 minus 25 divided by 5. My next step is either multiplication or division, whichever one comes first. I have division only, so that's the only one I'm going to do. That's 25 divided by 5, or negative 25 divided by 5. It depends on how you want to do it. 25 divided by 5 is 1. I'm going to keep the negative sign here. Negative 25 divided by 25 would have been negative 1. So either way, you're going to get a negative 1 down there. I'm going to drop the 24. So I've taken care of division. And now I say, do I have addition or subtraction? I only have subtraction. And 24 minus 1 is 23. And that is our answer. So today, ladies and gentlemen, what you learned was the order of operations. It's how you do problems with multiple operations. The operations are multiplication, division, subtraction, and addition. The order is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication or division, whichever comes first, then addition or subtraction, whatever's after that. All right, hopefully this was helpful. We will see you in the next video.